Mike Gill with State of Corruption. You know, for years, I've been telling you what's going to happen. Now, everything I've told you has happened. The difference where we are now is that it's coming to you live, as it's happening, by the day. In fact, from State of Corruption, we're going to do a little reality series called Inside Corruption, right? You're about to see this inside the corruption in a second. Now let me bring you back just 7 days ago. Judge Anderson, remember I told you the hit judge, leveraged me with McHugh's decision, leveraged me Anderson again, the same guy who leveraged me with the IRS, the DRA. You see, he's the hit judge. The reason why we're back in Brentwood is it's been a Brentwood operation. Why do you think you have Francois in there, right? Delker, we're waiting for a protection order, right? Well, it still hasn't come, but what did come last night was them keeping Shaheen on the case. The information, the supplemental answers we gave Delker would put Shaheen in jail. And guess what? Inside Corruption, next week I'm going to take you with the camera. We're going to go to the DEA. We're going to go to the U.S. Attorney. We're going to go to Ted Gatzis. Hey, Teddy, you get our package? What'd you do? Right? We're not going to take their word for it. I'm going to take you inside, just like we're taking you inside in here. What you're going to see here is that they gave me 7 days to give them my financial, or they'll put me in jail. You know what day I had to give it to them, or I'd be in jail? Today. You know who made the order? Anderson. You know where I'm going to be in a half hour? In his courtroom. Do you find that coincidental? On another piece of leverage. See? I didn't take their money. Means they've got to take mine. And I told you I didn't care. They told you they could take the house. I don't. Listen, we're going to drive these bastards out of business. You understand? This is leverage because they are extraordinarily desperate. Now I want you to pay attention. You're going to see on this video a little cut from Donald Trump. You know what Donald Trump said now twice, once in Virginia? He said when he referred to AOD, that their politicians are protecting the drug dealers that are making millions, right? He said that. Now I want you to know this. How does he know? Who do you think told him? You're hearing anybody else saying drugs and pointing to these people and calling them drug dealers? No, I gave it to him. And when the GOP threw him under the bus, he's coming for them and speaking to the people. So why I say this, whether you like him or not, it's about corruption. He called out Southern New Hampshire, though. That's on my information, right? That's why I gotta go. That's why I gotta take the deal, or I gotta die. Now think about this in jail. You're gonna see in this end of this video, you're gonna see a medical record. You're gonna see notes on the very day I said they were gonna try to kill me, passed it to an attorney. You're gonna see his email that I said to him, get to the DEA immediately. You're gonna hear Jared turn around and say, oh, I couldn't reach them. Didn't speak to me for another 5 days. And you'll see a medical record where my blood pressure dropped 80 points that night and they found me on the floor. And they turned around and said, why is he still alive? Right? You find that hard to believe? This is the level of where we are. And this is as desperate as they are. So the next thing you're going to see is me in court, going to challenge them. And they're going to want this information, but I'm not going to give them the information on the company. This is personal. So you don't worry. We're going to keep fighting. And we're going to have rallies, corruption rallies. We're going to have one a week from this Sunday. All right? We're going to have T-shirts, we're going to have pizza, and we're going to talk about corruption. And we're going to start uniting. That's what they're afraid of. Okay, Mike Gill, I'll see you in a bit.
New Hampshire, which I won, I got to know the people so well up there. What's your number one problem? Heroin, coming from the southern border. And I said, doesn't make sense. You go to South Carolina, North Carolina, no matter where, here. You go, no matter where, we have drugs pouring into our country. We could stop it. You see, our politicians don't want to stop it because there are people out there that make a lot of money with that. And they take care of the politicians. They don't want to stop it. They could stop it.
Now this is yours again. The thing with Wiggins and Norrie, the lean there, that's yours again. Right? This has been a series of corruption. Now, what I'm going to tell you, this set was never had an issue. In fact, the gentleman who checked the septic, that they used the witness, has given us a statement that Mr. Booten called him and told him to lie. And he's willing to come forward. Oh, you think that's funny? Here's the report. All right? You're not laughing now. Here's the report that he's willing to come forward with, and the criminal report with Kerry Lemieux, working with Booten, and this court. Now, I'll submit this criminal report if you like.
He's
So now,
coming here accusing me of criminal activity.
oh, yes, I can. Yes, I can, because I can prove it, and I have witnesses to it. Now, we had the well check. You know what the problem
Mr. Gill, hold on a second. Sorry to interrupt. Why don't we mark that one document as an exhibit? Is that your only copy, or do you mind turning that over?
I have others.
Okay.
You can keep this copy.
All right, we'll mark that as an exhibit.
Right. So they'll come forward and say, and Kerry Lemieux's partner, just so you know, that's been working with this court, is under arrest right now.
I'm sorry, Ms. Carey.
Brian Toomey and Kerry, were my paralegals working with Booten and many others, have been arrested. Right. With that complaint. So this is all going to come out.
Okay. But here's the issue with Mr. Gill, from my perspective. There's a final order, just listen for a minute. There's a final order of this court that was issued in early October.
By yourself?
By myself, yeah, requiring you to replace that. That was after a bench trial at which you chose not to put.
Well, wait a minute. A bench trial, Your Honor, that it wasn't even a trial. I was told to come in for a conference, scheduling conference. The next thing I know is Booten's already got a witness on the stand that he's already spoke to the night before. It was a complete setup. How about this? The tank's empty. The problem with the house is we don't even have water.
Mr. Gill, I'll let you speak. You're going to listen.
Go ahead.
Okay, we had a bench trial. At that trial, you chose not to put on any evidence or testify.
That's not true. I didn't come with evidence, Your Honor, because it was a scheduling hearing. It was a complete setup that you were involved with.
After that, Mr. Gill, you filed an appeal, which you
Right,
had a right
they went
to
to
do.
Convoy, who worked for McLean, should have recused herself.
Mr. Gill, you didn't pay the fee to the Supreme Court. To the
Right,
Supreme Court,
and
which is
that's why
they-
Kerry's under arrest. Got it? That's the corruption, and that's what you get to reap. I didn't pay the fee, so for $50, right? I wouldn't pay the
But
fee.
Mr. Gill, it doesn't change the fact there was a final order of this court that was appealed. The appeal was dismissed, which makes this final order of this court binding at this point.
Great. I'm going to turn around and arrest everybody in it. Listen, Booten's guilty. Kerry's saying all this, is with this. He's witnessed that the septic is that he was told the night before.
Let me ask
Booten called him.
you this question. Have you taken any steps towards replacing the septic system?
I just brought somebody in. They said, your problem with your septic is you got no water. My well is already burnt out 3 times this summer. There's no septic issue. There never was. We had one day 4 years ago on the 4th of July. That's what we had. This has been a series of leverages. Listen, 7 days ago I was being leveraged again. I'm being leveraged again next month. Listen, let's not forget I turned down $50 million. Okay? $50 million in writing. So that was about all the people that are leveraging me, including this courthouse. Now that's in writing and signed. So there'll be no, listen, it's only 1 million views, so the joke's up. In fact, there was a big arrest yesterday. Did you read it? In Bedford. Big drug dealers. Guess who they work for? Anagos and Cruz and Griner. Right. Secret grand jury that I gave them the information is. And I'm giving them the information in this courtroom.
Here's where we are, Mr. Gill. As I said before, there's a binding order.
I understand.
Final order requiring you to replace your septic system. You have a chance to appeal that. You've lost that ability at this point.
Corruptly, but you're involved in Kerry Lemieux, who's under arrest.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you 30 days to file an application to DES. We'll take this in baby steps at this point in time. You've got 30 days to do that. If you don't do that, then at that point, I don't know what the town's proposing. The town's proposing arrest, which I don't think makes sense in this case. In other septic cases, towns have requested orders barring admission to the house.
Right. Listen, in 30 days, I'll have them in jail. There's a
Whatever
risk.
you think is reasonable, Your Honor.
Well, what I'm going to do is that's going to be what the order's going to say. 30 days to file an application to the DES. File it in court just like you filed the affidavit today in compliance with my last order. If you file the application to DES, nothing else will happen. You'll go down the process, and you can sort of suggest, if the town wants to suggest next steps, in that process, we'll consider that. If not, I'm gonna enter an order barring access to the house. I mean, you're not giving me any.
We were
other
gonna
choice.
auction it last week.
That's another case.
Oh, that's another case. Let me fix the thing, we'll auction the house. Here's the case, huh? It is leverage. It's always been leverage.
This matter's adjourned at that point, that order will issue later today. 30 days.
We just got out of court. All right? They wanted the financial. They're leveraging me. They want to know how it's worked. They can't take no more. They got to stop me. I wasn't settling for money. I was settling for convictions. They're protecting the judges in there, including Anderson himself. You see? They didn't tell you about Bedford. I told them about Bedford. What if I told you there was arrest last night, right? Drug arrest in Bedford. Major drug dealers, right? DEA arresting them. Can you say secret grand jury and indictments? That's what you're seeing. And you know, from a police source, this guy worked for Anagos and Griner at the Copper Door, right? And I got more breaking news regarding Cruz. And I'm going to put that out. You see, it is cracking. You see Trump saying that? Who do you think gave him that information? You're going to hear Trump on this video saying what I gave him. Let's not stop Mike Gill's state of corruption.
New Hampshire, which I won, I got to know the people so well up there. What's your number one problem? Heroin, coming from the southern border. And I said, doesn't make sense. You go to South Carolina, North Carolina, no matter where, here. You go, no matter where, we have drugs pouring into our country. We could stop it. You see, our politicians don't want to stop it because there are people out there that make a lot of money with that. And they take care of the politicians. They don't want to stop it. They could stop it.